Yeah, sure.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, first and foremost is the tea bag. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to camp.
Okay, so I gave it to you super easy. We threw in our hook. Okay, now we're gonna put our knee inside. So our knee, when we put it in, is gonna go at a 45-degree angle as deep as we can. Being shallow is not gonna be good for us. I want this to become as deep as we can. It'll end up becoming easier to put your hook in. The other cool thing about this is like super tight, bro. Like tuck your elbows super tight inside your knees. No, inside here. Like super tight. More. Don't let me get in here. Like this can be, don't let me get in there. This can be a pain in the butt. Hold your knees tight. This can be a pain in the butt sometimes. You see what I'm saying? But if I'm struggling with any of that or I'm in the front headlock, I can slip right in with my knee. So for me, it's a good way for those guys that are real stubborn to break the turtle, okay? So maybe I'm here, the hand fighting's not going good to choke him or whatnot. I'll press on him a little bit so he doesn't go anywhere for a second. I stick my knee in as far as possible. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna grab his shin and his toes. I'm gonna stomp on his calf and keep it on the ground. Don't let it come in the air. Now my left leg will come out and I'll triangle my legs. Now I'm here. The next movement I want you to do is hook his arm. Notice how I hook with the shallow grip. Tighten your arms, buddy. If I stick my arm through like this, he can pull my wrist and tap me. Like pull it down, tap, right? See over his ribs? So it's a shallow grip right here. I'm just with a hook grip. Once I make upper body contact, that's when I cross my ankles and extend. Okay, this is different than triangle extend. See how I don't make contact? So I may be triangled right here, but I'll cross my ankles and then extend. Now that I have the arm hook, I want to get the arm, separate it. We'll go over grip breaks in a minute. Separate it, and then I'm going to need to switch this hooked hand to like a baseball bat grip. This position is called baseball bat. Say baseball bat.
Baseball bat.
What was the last position that we were just in?
The truck.
The truck, right? So I'm going from the truck to baseball bat. I'm a little bit away from Kevin, so I want to start to get abreast of him. I'm going to take my heels in my butt, dig my heels in my butt. I'm going to start to scoot next to him, and I need this elbow right here, my left elbow, sticking up out of his armpit. This is not what I want. I need it sticking up out of his armpit like this, and I'm stretching his arm away. If I keep it like over here, connect your hands, Kevin. Like I don't want this. Look, I pull it over here, connect your hands, Kevin. You see what I'm saying? So I'm pulling it. I'm not just holding it to me. I'm pulling it away. So I'm pulling it like this, and I start scooting closer and closer and closer. So I'm getting that elbow nice and high. The next step is to get the arm over my head. And then I need to get his arm a little bit past my shoulder. See how it's around my head right now? I'm gonna go like this. Again, I'm gonna build my base so that I can expose his neck. So here, I'm gonna have to hand fight and stuff, and I don't like the fact that he can limp arm, buddy. Limp arm away. Yeah, like he can start to turn away and fight out of that. Even though Kevin's like super flexible or unflexible, really flexible people will turn away really quickly, especially when you're sweaty. So when I raise up, it'll make it easier. Again, I get a little bit more comfortable. This is also raising his hips will cause the twister to hurt more, okay? So I bring it over my head, and now I need to get my shoulder over. So now I'm laying on top of his arm. It's gonna be harder for him to move away, okay? Then I'm gonna get up on my elbow in my hand and build my base. And I'm pulling this pretty hard. I can now easily reach underneath him. And I'm gonna go for the twister, but he's a ninja and he blocks. I always go inside, right? So he blocks inside. Don't try and go over and around. That goes inside. I'm gonna pull at his temple, not his neck. Like pulling at his neck will kind of hurt him, but at his temple and his head is what will completely twist him. Okay? So now I get that twister, get my tap. And we're in training, I do this all the time. This is not something where I need to go, pow, right? It's where I got him. It's like, it's sunk, it's in. I'm just gonna pull slowly until he taps. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Let me get Jackson. Or no, Jordan, let me say Jordan. So I'm grabbing him because he's super flexible, right? I'll show you a couple reactions and some levels that you can take it to. Sliding my knee in, and I go to pull back. Look at the detail of stomping on the foot, or sorry, the calf. I keep his leg down, and then I triangle. If I don't, sometimes I'll miss. I'll be like, I'm trying to do it up there. I don't want to do that, okay? Even if I stomp on his leg and then do it up here. Sometimes it can be more difficult, or I lose it, or then I'm starting to compromise my base, my angle. He might roll on top. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping his leg on the ground the entire time, right? I squish it down, I hold it down. I'll open his hips up, then I can lock the triangle in. Once I make that upper body grip, I switch to a crossed ankle and I extend the body. This will now cock his body to an angle instead of belly up. I connect the hands, right? I want to pull his hands away. We'll go over grip breaks later, but for right now, just pull with the hand. When I say the hand, does that mean the wrist?
No.
No, because like, connect your hands. See how hard it is for him to do that? Connect your hands. I have to deal with that junk all day long. I want to grab his hand eventually. Even if I do grab his wrist quickly, I'll slide it down to his hand. Once I'm down here, I'm able to grab his wrist, that's fine. But I initially like to block his hand, okay? So then I need to get to what position?
Baseball bat.
Say it.
Baseball bat.
Right, so I adjust my hand to gripping like a baseball bat. Now what do I need to do? My black belts, be quiet. My twister masters, be quiet.
Yeah.
Gotta scoot closer. Get abreast of him. I start digging my heels, hopping my butt over. Okay, now what? Arm behind the head. Now what? The other thing is, don't get this arm up here, okay? I'm gonna keep this like away from him. Call this the fisheye. I'm looking at him over here. Okay? I gotta get my shoulder over. Then I get on my elbow and I press in. He's super flexible. So if I need to, I go to DEFCON 4 and I rear naked choke his head and then stretch.
God.
There's no way I could do that to Kevin. But you can still get these guys here, but I feel like sometimes I can get so far that he gets his arm out. You see what I'm saying? So the super flexible guys, they can get their arm out even while you're twisting them. So I will go straight to DEFCON 4 on those guys. So it just depends on your training partner. Good to go, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right, one person go. Ready, set.